Hey there, did you grow up like me, and did you often hear one of your parents say to you, get your attitudes straightened out? I used to take that on as, my mother saying, well, you better agree with me, like go and get your head sorted so that you can agree with my point of view. But that's not what attitude is at all, really. And I think you'll agree with me, it's a very important thing. Like if you're a boss or you've got a team or even your children, how often do you look at them and think, your attitude's dreadful. Get your attitude sorted. And it's interesting because we can ask people to do that. But if you're anything like me, I used to think, how do I get my attitude sorted? I knew what mum or, my coach was talking about, but I had no idea how to change it. I just knew how I felt and I knew I didn't agree with them. And it probably was coming out in my behaviour or what we call our attitude. So what is attitude and why is it so important? I've been talking a lot with people over the last few weeks. Obviously, there's things going on in the world that are causing lots of us to feel a certain way, to act a certain way. Some people are seeing it as a great imposition almost and have a bit of a victim attitude around it. And I can totally understand that, why they're thinking that or feeling that. And then other people are just seeing it as the greatest opportunity ever. So there's two examples of attitudes which are very different around a certain topic. So if I asked all of you here today, what is attitude, what you think attitude is, we'd all come up with a different description. And they might be in part right. But what is it really? Have you ever thought about that? Because William James was an author and he said human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitude of mind. Now that's pretty big. I mean, Mum was talking about me getting my room cleaned up. That was what she was hoping to achieve, not change my whole life. So that's a big statement, can alter your life by altering your attitude of mind. And it turns out that it's true, but if it's true and if it's so easy to alter our attitude, why don't more of us do that? Why don't more of us know what attitude is and really set to work on it, get an understanding of it, teach it to our children at a young age? Another big statement is that success can be guaranteed if we live in a certain way. And I think, well, that's great, but what is that way? Like, we all just want to know. I don't know about you, but I just wanted to know what's the answer so I can get on and live successfully and have a great attitude. So if you start to think about us as human beings, like here we are living this life, we're a human being. So what is that? We have a physical body. That's pretty obvious. None of us have a problem picturing that. But we also have a spiritual side to us. So we have a spirit in us. That's the life in us. And we have our mind. So, when you think about thoughts that come into your mind, like where do they come from? Like that's in more the spiritual realm, thought. But then we have imagination and our will, and they're all intellectual faculties that we have in our mind, all right, as a part of who we are, almost like tools that you can use. So there's these three planes of understanding. There's a spiritual, there's our mind, our intellectual, and our physical. Now, as I work with people, you have to make it very clear in your own mind that we think in pictures. So if you think of any time that you've had a thought about something, you've built a picture in your mind. Sometimes it happens really fast, and other times, it might take you a good while to get a picture of what it is you're thinking about. But we have cells of recognition in our mind. If you've been to the Eiffel Tower and I say those words, you'll have cells of recognition in your mind that just go, oh, yep, you can picture the Eiffel Tower. Okay, but if I said some words which you've never experienced, you've never seen, then it won't be so easy for you to picture it in your mind. So that brings me to my next point, and believe me, I'm getting there on attitude. The next point is then, if we think in pictures, And attitude is a mind-body thing. It's not just the way you're behaving. It's a mind-body thing. It's about the way you're thinking, the way you're feeling, and of course that's expressed in your actions. So we've got a picture of our body, that's clear. You can look in the mirror, you can see this is your body, you can see your actions, but what does your mind look like? And it's really interesting because there was a guy back in 1934, which actually isn't that long ago, who started to recognise that people were not being looked after in the medical industry as well as they could be because they were treating only the physical symptoms. They had no concept of what's going on in their mind. And like he said, it was the Dr. Thurman Fleet, and he said he said we need a picture of the mind because that's where this is all coming from. And no one had ever seen the mind. How are they going to draw a diagram of the mind? Because we're not talking about the brain, we're talking about the mind. So if I asked you what your mind looks like, what would you say? It's interesting. Hi, Sylv, how are you going? It's great to have you here, and Johnny too, wonderful. And Kathy, hello. Michael. So, if you think about your mind and you think, how on earth are we going to change our mind if we can't even picture it because we think in pictures? So when we talk about attitude, when my mum was saying to me, get your attitude sorted, as a child, I had no idea what she meant. And as an adult, do we have any more of an idea? So if it is about your thoughts, your feelings and your actions, what's going on in your mind around this time? That's causing you to feel a certain way. When you think of a picture, I can watch a picture on a movie and I can end up crying. So the action is I've developed a picture in my mind and I've got emotionally involved in it and I've cried. And that thing's not even happening to me. That's how powerful our mind is. And that's attitude, your thoughts, your feelings and actions. So what's your attitude around what's going on for you in your life? And it may be related to what's going on globally, or it might not. It might be just what's happening in your world. But I want you to start thinking about what's your attitude as a whole, because that is affecting everything going on for you. It affects the way you see what's going on for you. And more than that, because it's an energy that goes out from us, it actually is affecting what you are attracting. The law of attraction is based on the law of vibration. I've been studying some material by Earl Nightingale, fabulous man, who really helped us to understand the laws that this universe operates with. And when you understand that there is a law controlling your thinking or directing your thinking, like this world operates in an orderly manner and our thinking operates in an orderly manner. And when we start to understand our mind and the way that the law of thinking works, you will start to understand why things are coming to you as they are in your life and how you can influence that, and how William James was right when he said if we can change our attitude, we actually alter our life. And that's why. That's not a flippant statement. That's actually very, grounded in science and the way that thought energy works. So I'm actually working with people now on understanding these laws. And, you may never have worked with a coach and you might not want to. But if you want to just understand a little bit more about what's going on for you and a little bit more about this thinking, which we all do all the time, you're always producing something in the way that you're thinking, okay? An energy. And that is always attracting something to you. It's up to us to start understanding what we're attracting and how we're attracting it. Okay? It's good to see you on here, Johnny. Got past the thinking. Yes, so true. I've been talking with you, Johnny, a little bit. Fabulous guy, Johnny. If any of you are into trees and just nature, Johnny's on this live. Get in touch with that man. He has got a vision so huge. Let me just talk with you here, Johnny. So you feel like you've got past the thinking part, it's your paradigm. Yeah. Yes, you're absolutely right there, Johnny. For any of you that haven't got the free replay, there's a live stream replay of the paradigm shift that Bob did back in January. And as you know, if you've seen any of the work that I do, he's my mentor, and I've really gotten a lot of what I talk about from Bob and others that he has studied. So, it's not his material, it's not my material, it's just the way things are. So I'm really just teaching you guys about it and how to live a better life, the life that you want, when you understand this machine that called our body, the brain, how that operates, and universal law. Because we live in this orderly universe, we need to know how to work with it to get the results that we're wanting. So there's a paradigm shift replay out, the live stream. And if you haven't got the link, let me know. Hi, Mike. Thank you. Let me know if you haven't got that link, because Easter weekend, from what I hear, not many of us are going too far from home. So it'll be a great opportunity. It's a 2.5-day seminar with Bob. And if you've never seen Bob in a seminar, you might have seen him on YouTube and other places. But if you've never seen him on a seminar, he is at his very best. And if you really want to try and understand what attitude is, what paradigms are, what might be holding you back, then just message me below and I'll send it to you, just the link, and you can watch it over the weekend. It's absolutely free, nothing more to do except sit back and watch, and of course eat chocolate, because I like to do that too. So have a little think about your mind and your attitude. What is your attitude around what's happening? Because you can change your attitude just like that. And thank you, Johnny. I'll send you one. I'll send you the link. When you change your attitude, you will start to find, like you're saying, Johnny, things are changing for you. You're starting to see things change. The world is plastic to your thinking. I read that somewhere and I thought that is so good. Okay, you're creating the thought molds that the thought energy is going into. And as you start to learn how easy that is and break out of the habitual way that you've been living, which is getting the results that you're getting, life becomes an absolutely exciting adventure and very rewarding. So, hey Vincent, good to see you here. So yeah, just understand it is up to us, okay? Everything starts in your thinking. So yes, if you've just jumped on, have a re-listen to this. And if you've got any questions at any time, I'm going to put my link. I've finally got my calendar link up and running, which makes it very easy for you all to just look at what's available and say, yep, I'm going to have a chat then. And just book yourself in, and I'll send you a Zoom link and we can have a good chit chat about where you're at. Okay, so absolutely, no obligation whatsoever, but let's just start thinking about the life that we're living, because we get one only, as far as we know, and you just want to make it the best it can be. Okay, so, hi Michelle. Great to see you. So yes, guys, anything you need, anytime you want to chat, just jump on this link, book an appointment with me, like some time with me, and we can just chat, talk about your life and where you're wanting to go, because it is really simple. We just have to understand it, that's all. We just don't know what we don't know. All right, so I'll leave you with that, and I'll be back on in the next few days. All right, have a great Easter. I'll talk to you soon.